Everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new episode of my Beat the Ladder series, and in this episode I'm going to feature Warrior once again. Why Warrior? Because I love it so much, and according to the latest Data Reaper report, Control Warrior is tier 4, and I kinda have to agree with it, but at the same time I have to disagree with it because I am climbing with Control Warrior. I am spending most of my time of the last 2 weeks pretty much to make Control Warrior viable, just because I don't want to just play the same classes as everyone else plays. Just give you a quick rundown on what is the meta, what are the two most popular classes on the ladder, and those two most popular classes are Druid and Shaman. No surprise, I have on most days 40% Druid and 40% Shaman. I should have made some screenshot because it's crazy, because even if I play like, let's say, like 30 games, it's 40% and 40%, like exactly 50-50 spread between those two classes, and it is so difficult to beat those two classes. Usually what you end up doing is just play those two classes yourself. So you play Shaman, so you play a lot of Shaman mirror matches, which is getting super difficult right now because people play the double storm list, people play the Kobo Geomancers, people learned how to play the matchup. It is not that difficult, and yeah, it's just very hard to get a good win rate in the mirror through just playing the matchup better, because people are learning it, just because that's what you do all the time right now. You just play Shaman mirrors, you play Shaman versus Druid, people are getting better in those matchups, so the meta is pretty much figured out. Same goes for Druid. I personally don't understand why people play so much Druid. I think the Druid is unfavorable versus mid Shaman, and you play versus other Druids. Isn't that just high rolling versus each other? Yeah, I know that a lot of people think the Druid mirror matchup is very skillful. I tend to disagree because I play all 9 classes all the time, and I think Druid is one of the easiest classes to play for sure, just because there's always one straight line of play you can go, which is usually very, very powerful. Sometimes you can go for some awkward 2 or 3 turns ahead thinking, but most of the time you can just play your wild growth on turn 2, you can just innovate out your emperor, and things will just go fine. So I'm trying to make Warrior work. I was playing, as you guys maybe have seen in one of my previous episodes, I featured Reno Warrior, and yeah, it is going pretty well, but it doesn't have enough removal for the Druids in my opinion. I was playing double BGH even most of the days in the previous days, and it was working out pretty fine for me. But yeah, in some matchups like Shaman, for example, or Rogues, you will just not have any targets for the BGH most of the time, so it's annoying. So I was playing one Taskmaster to always have a BGH target, but BGH can be a very clunky minion, but definitely one BGH is what I'm playing, or what I would play in all my Warrior lists. And this is the very latest version. It is like Yogg. I was playing Deathwing all the time, but the problem with Deathwing is in a lot of matchups I don't play Deathwing just because I don't want to discard my other cards. I have my Ironforge Portal in my hand, which is heal, so I don't want to discard that. I have a Shields in my hand, so I don't want to discard that. There's very good situations where I would want to play the Deathwing, but if I would play him, I would lose because I discard my entire hand. And it is basically the slowest card in Hearthstone, so I don't want to play the Deathwing. So let's go by the list here without further ado and just jump right into the Blood to Icarus that I'm playing. I think Blood to Icarus is a very flexible card. The main reason why this card is in my deck is because it is a spell. If you count all those spells, it is 18 spells in total, which is more than half of my deck. The half would be 15 if you're pretty good at grade school maths. And yeah, Blood to Icarus, it's a pretty good card, very flexible card for 1 mana. Pretty good value for 1 mana. It spawns out 2/2 minion most of the time. It is very flexible. You can combine it with the Vorex to take out Azurex, Totem Golems, Auctioneers, Pillagers, just all 4 toughness creatures. You can use a Blood to Icar on a 1-drop just to contest it immediately. Let's say on a Tunnel Trog, he goes Tunnel Trog, you go Blood to Icar, and then you have a 2/2 minion versus a 1/2 minion, and if he goes for a Totem Golem follow-up, you still trade. So great. Same goes for Argent Squires, and yeah, just any 1-drop basically, except the Possessed Villager. So Blood to Icar, very flexible, very good. Also versus Hunters, very nice. It's an Execute enabler, which gives you afterwards a 2/2. Shield Slam, just a great removal card. You play it basically in every warrior list, I think. Sometimes you don't run it in Dragon Warriors, but that's about it. Executes, just a standard removal card. Fury Winx, also pretty standard. Double Revenge. Sometimes I play 1, sometimes I play 2. Usually 2 is not so good if you don't run Gore Howl, because most people learned to play around Revenge, so you have to put yourself into Revenge range, and then you use the Fool's Bane usually, or the Gore Howl. But since so many people are running Harrison Jones, including myself, it is very hard to get yourself into Revenge range yourself, but most of the time people will just get you into Revenge range just because they want to kill you. And in that case, Revenge is a great card. You have a lot of stabilization in the deck with cards like the Bash, Shield Blocks, Ironforge Portals, and the main one is absolutely the Justica Trueheart. Without Justica, this deck would fall apart, just because all the popular decks like Tempo Mage, Shaman, Hunter, they just all deal way too much damage. And maybe I can show you one of those decks later on in part 2, where I get dismantled because I don't draw the Justica. The Slam's pretty standard. I was about to say standard. Acolyte synergy with the Slam to draw more cards. In some matchups it's fine. In other matchups where you want to go to Fatigue, it's not that good to draw that many cards. But yeah, you usually combine the Slam with a War Axe to take out those mid-rangey creatures like the Fenrir or Azudrex and stuff like that. Slam also takes out all the Tempo Mage minions, like the 2-drops, like the Sorcerer's Apprentices. Execute Enabler on top of it. Bash, it heals you for free, which is really good. It's a very, very powerful card because it heals you for free. And it takes out all those mid-range creatures. Has a similar function as the Slam, together with the War Axe, just that it heals you instead of drawing a card. Revenge Ghoul, just very flexible as well. Draws you cards with the Acolyte, so pretty good follow-up there. And yeah, just very good versus Shaman right now. Execute Enabler, you can combine it with Blood to Echo to take out stuff as well. Shield Block heals you, draws your card, pretty good cycle. BGH, I think it's very good in the meta, just because, as I said, 40% druids, then every druid runs at least 4 BGH targets, or 3 BGH targets, depending on their lists, but yeah, plenty of BGH targets. So at some point, whenever you draw the BGH versus Druid, you will find a target, except it is your very last card in your deck, then it might not have a target. So Harrison Jones and Brawl's pretty standard just because of the popularity of Shamans. Ironforge Portal, yeah, some people, this is like the most asked question I have in my stream, is Gaara, why 2 portals, not 1? I just want the heal. If there would be more portals, I would probably run more portals, just because it is very difficult to find good armor gain in control warrior lists that are not cartoon warriors. And I basically run every single card besides the armor smiths. The armor smiths are just too weak. And it is a spell, so it synergizes with the Yoggs around, so that's great. And yeah, sometimes you can just high roll and get some crazy good minions. Sometimes you get really bad minions, so you have some fun in the game as well. So every game doesn't feel the same. It's pretty cool as well. Argent Commander, it's probably like the most surprising pick. I was playing all the 6-drops, man. I was trying Emperor, Sylvanas, Black Knight. I was playing all of them. And as it turns out, Commander is the best one. The problem about Sylvanas is if you play it against Shaman, it will just get hexed, never see value. If you play against Rogue, which is also very popular, just get zapped all the time. And yeah, it doesn't really win you the game. Against Druid, it's the best, but this deck is already that good versus Druid that you usually don't need it. And oftentimes it just gets wiped and hero powered. And like, I want to be able to take out Azudrex immediately, and oftentimes I don't have that great tools to take out the Azudrex. Since I added now in this latest list the Blood to Echoes, I maybe remove the Argent Commander and play Sylvanas again, but I really, really, really do like the Argent Commander. There's so many targets. Azudrex is such a popular card right now, and back in the days, in 2014, I think Strifecore was the first one who built it, or who built a control mage version with Argent Commander. Same goes for midrange Shaman. the main reason to play Argent Commander was to take out Azudrex because it became popular, and I would argue that right now we have a fitting meta for the Argent Commander because all the Shamans run Azudrex, all the Rogues run Azudrex, all the Tempo Mages run Azudrex, and all the Druids run Azudrex. So Azudrex, a very, very popular card in Argent Commander, is a very good counter. It is a follow-up play. You play Azudrex on 5, I play Argent Commander on 6, so it's on curve, takes it out, and you have to use another card to remove it. So it's 2-for-1 trade. I think it's very good. And oftentimes I found myself in the situation where I played the Sylvanas into Azudrex, and you know, he will just trade in hero power. That's like the best case scenario, and then it's just not even a 1-for-1 trade because he cycled the Azudrex. So Argent Commander just seems better. In a lot of the situations you can just kill like a Mana Tide or Flametongue Totem, and then you still have the command on board. So I think it's a very good card right now. Justica Trollheart, just the absolute core of the deck. Grimash and Yogg's are on. I'm still testing it right now. Right now this is like my latest version, and I'm gonna submit this deck also for the Arca Invitational tomorrow. So at the time I released this video, it probably already happened, so I will release this video either like tomorrow, probably tomorrow, and because I have to render and edit everything. So anyways, that's the list. I hope you guys enjoy it. Follow me on my Twitch arena. Don't forget to leave me a like if you enjoyed this series and this episode, and don't forget to subscribe, it helps me out a lot. And see you guys in part 2 where I show you some games on pretty high legend. Stay tuned. So Rouge, he doesn't have the coin, so we don't really expect a fast one cleave. I want remove, I want like more bash, more... Acolyte is probably better, Shield Slam is probably better as well. It's like all those cards, bash, slam, Vorax are pretty good. Acolytes are amazing as well because he has to kill him. So here I will just go for the Acolyte. What he could do is backstab it, which is fine. Shadow Strike, that's insane for me. 6 damage on the poor Acolyte. So now this tells me that he should not have a backstab, because you would not Shadow Strike over backstab. So I'm just going for another Acolyte. And if he goes for the Pillager, I have the Vorax plus Slam. Oh god, this is insanity. This is amazing. Smart, he pushes 1 damage in because he knows I will trade. So expect him to be quite a decent fella. Just equip the Vorax. Nothing too flashy. I have 2 Shield Slams and 2 Slams, so I can take out most of his mid-range minions. I also have an Execute if he goes for 1 cleave. So right now it's looking really good. He just plays an SI to have something on the board, just to pressure. So I'm just going for the Portales. Getting out this beautiful Fendrel, 3/5, pretty annoying to kill. There's a very fast Emperor. I could take it out of the slam, but if he plays a Azudrex, I take 1 less damage to kill it, so I will just utilize my armor here and Shield Slam it, because I already have it. In this matchup it's fine to, like, Shield Slamming Emperor is probably even be the best target after the Auctioneer. So Auctioneer, Azudrex, Pillagers, Emperor, all targets I can Shield Slam. He plays double Shadow Strike, so it's a very interesting list. And there's the admin. So I have a BGH, which I will do, and I will probably just seal slam this. It's not really mana efficient, but it's okay. I didn't have to use my execute, so if it goes for Malygos, I can execute that. And now the Azure Drakes or more Auctioneers I take out with the Shield Slams. In case he buffs it with the Cold Blood, I will use my Bash or my execute. Probably Bash. He had a pretty good draw actually. The beginning was really bad, but now like he had at least double Auctioneer, right? So you cannot complain about that. So double Sinister Strike, so there's no way you can kill me. He had to cycle his lethal damage, so we'll take out this Auctioneer with my Grammash, which is pretty much an Azure Drake killer or Auctioneer killer. All those 4/4 minions are killed by my Grammash usually, so he has no more Shadow Strikes for something like this, and usually it just has to be zapped, and then I replay it, take out another minion, Vicious Psycho. There's the zap, and I will just replay him. As simple as that. What I else could do is just go for the commander here. It's not that important that I get the Grammash out like right now. Could also Brawl. Brawl is not a very good card in this matchup. I get 4 face damage in, which is pretty nice. Kill all this stuff. I can actually even, I'm so far ahead that I can even afford to probably just Blood to Icarid. Yeah, with using both Sinister Strikes for just cycling, I don't think he can win. Like he needs Ragnaros at least on top of Malygos. So that's a very expensive weapon. This is an amazing draw. I can probably close out the game with just playing the Commander, Grammash here. But this is safer. Can also just kill this garbage. I mean, if this was his best play, then his hand is pretty bad. Can take out all those minions. Endless ways of taking those out. He has to take the face damage, and this sets up lethal. Pretty much. Very easy matchup, I would say. Very easy win. But I also had a pretty good draw, but yeah, I should have a pretty good hand with this deck. And the climb continues. So we have a Shaman here. I actually like this hand, like this is. I like to have the Brawl just in case, even though I will be able to contest the board from the beginning. It's just nice to have it because we need it in this matchup. So in case he goes like, let's say, Troc into into Feral Spirits, or double Troc into Feral Spirits, we just Brawl it. If he goes for a slow opener, we just pretty much not do anything. I could have went for the Acolyte here. I think it would be, but it's problematic because he has a Spell Power Totem up. So now he could roll a 1/1 Totem, then I kill the Spell Power Totem if it works and play the Acolyte. I don't kill it this turn because yeah, he could just re-totem up. Pretty annoying. He gets the Spirits are protected. He might have now just like a weapon to kill it. It's pretty efficient way to clear it, but he might not have the weapon. You would protect the spell power totem no matter what, as you can see, because it's a pretty good card. So I actually had really bad acolyte values, but it's okay. I have to kill it, so I will just bash it, and I wanna save my brawl. The thing is, if the board escalates, I can just brawl. I used only one spell so far. It's nice to count for the Yogg. This is something we shield slam. Interesting. I think I also go for the shield block. This would be a really weak brawl because we don't really get any real value out of it. Can just go for double ghoul. Pretty much takes out this board. It takes so long time to play all these totems. So taking them out without using real cards is sometimes very nice. Again, spell power totem. It's so annoying if he just keeps high rolling the spell power totem on the first roll, so he doesn't even have to try hard. Like, the Shaman cards synergize so insanely well with the spell power totem. The Maelstroms, the Spirit Claws, the Lightning Storms. All those cards are so much weaker without getting the totem, but yeah, if he just high rolls it every turn, it's pretty easy to play the game. So he has everything pretty much. And again, I cannot take out the totem here. Go Grom. I kill the totem golem, and he will hex it most likely, so I get pretty good value. So I take out 2 cards from him with the Grom. The best card I can always have in this matchup is the Justicar, because it allows me to play a very greedy brawl. He absolutely has to overextend. So it goes for Maelstrom Portal, just utilizes bad cards. But yeah, I took already out the Totem Golem. He's using the Maelstrom Portal, so that's already 2 cards. If he trades the board and a weapon charge, that's like, yeah, almost 3 cards. So here's, I could brawl this, but he takes also 10 face damage, which is ridiculous. That's like value also, like a Pyroblast. That's 10 mana value. So here I value the hero power more than using the shield block, because I want to be greedy with the brawl. BGH also very powerful here. I think BGH is a very good meta call right now. I was even sometimes running 2 BGHs, and Shamans think, oh, BGH nerfed, Execute nerfed, let's play Flame Reef Faceless, and well, it doesn't work. So as you can see, Brawl would be tempting here, but as you can see, Brawl is like very mediocre value. I used very few spells so far. I like to take out the Totem Golem. If he goes Thunder Buff, whenever I have those cards reserved for Thunder Buff aliens, in case you're watching my stream. I keep mentioning this. So the signal for using the Brawl is as soon as I see one Thunder Buff alien. Brawl is always, Bloodlust is always very unfortunate if he runs that. This is why I occasionally just take out the totems, because it takes 4 turns to get all those totems out. He hasn't seen a brawl yet, so there's a bloodlust. That's a lot of damage. But it's not lethal damage, and this enables my revenge, so I have a lot of bot clears now. He thinks he can just pressure me, but yeah, that's not gonna work. I think at this point I kinda have to go for the brawl. Because I have 2 brawls, he's out of cards. He's almost dead. I have to get closer to the Justicar here. I only used like 3 spells. And the coin, so 4 spells. Didn't use that many spells. Looks like I used a lot of spells, but I did really not. Oh, that's a very good draw. That's like the GG draw. Pretty much. I can use Bash for Trox. It's fine. And armor up. Awesome. Pretty good win. I mean, it's not one yet, but you're getting there. Oh boy, that's a horrific one. Like, it's really tempting to go 5. I think I will do it, even though I don't have the execute enable anymore. I'm setting up lethal if he doesn't roll taunt. It's okay. I would run another. I have so many execute enablers in this deck. Didn't get the taunt. It's annoying. I play it slow, no rush. I have nowhere to go. I will wait with my Yogg till after Brawl, Execute. Get a little bit more spells in. Maybe he goes for the Thunder Bluff. That's much better Brawl now. If the 7/7 survives, it's like GG anyways. It's much better Brawl because I take out his biggest minion. So I see if this is an execute enabler or execute his taunt totem in case he gets one. If he goes spirits, then I will probably just Yogg around, see what happens. Oh, okay. Let's go for a small Yogg. Easiest lethal of my life. Oh my god. The climb is real. Hunter should still be a pretty bad matchup. Acolyte is not good versus Hunter. Actually, versus Hunter, if you force them to use a bow or something like that. Versus aggressive decks, you usually don't like to keep the... But sometimes Hunters runs the hunters that we see right now on ladder are usually aggressive secret hunters, and they play squires and, you know, secret keepers, and against that the acolyte ain't so bad. Also to tank weapon charges. It's better that the acolyte takes the weapon charge than my face. Okay, not the acolyte here, I like it. He could go animal companion. Animal companion. And I have like very great follow-ups to this. So this could be Catrick as always. Let's hope it's not. Like, I have to draw the cards anyways. And it is Catrick as always. But I drew the weapon luckily. It's cool to actually have the slime here. It's also very important to have the bow, the Harrison for the bow. Because in Secret Hunter you deal like so much damage with the Eagle Horn bow. So, I think I value this minion here. Gonna bash and start chipping on the spiderlings. If he doesn't have the high mid, I'm in an okay spot. So if he plays stuff like this, I think this should be okay. Okay. It's a lot, very annoying damage, but what can we do? This deck has at least quite a bit of healing. I wish I would have summoned someone with more health than this. But yeah, so no high mid at least. At least some good news. But yeah, he's trying to kill me. That's pretty bad. Hope he has like a lot of useless secrets, you know, unleash the hounds. It could be snake trap. That is good and bad. Unleash the hounds. But I really hope for that this is not a freezing trap. That would be super annoying. Good stuff. Could be another Catrick. So if this is another Catrick, what I want is oh my god, if this is Catrick, what do I want? Would like to use it in combination with Brawl, like those two. Let's see what happens. That's pretty bad, but now at least I know it's not Catrick. I have to really save my heal. Justica is just my win condition pretty much. So it's just gonna go face. Yeah, he uses to unleash the hounds, just very inefficient. Let's see. I will actually even risk the Ironforge Bottle. Oh, I got this card 4 times in a row. Are you kidding me? What are the chances of getting this card 4 times in a row? It's basically nothing. I need this card to do something, and I get the guy that does nothing. Oh, this is also so annoying. I guess I have to draw here. Spiralings. I have to dismantle the second skill command. It's very good that I feel like he relies on the Eagle Hombo damage. So that's nice that maybe he has 2 Eagle Hombos, who knows. Oh my god, is this lethal? That's 8 damage. Come on, are you serious? Oh, that just happened. And the thing is that he does top deck that. Oh. That's the highest possible damage you can deal in one turn, that's for sure. That was 9, 12. I think I'm favored. I mean, it's hard to say, but I should be favored in the matchup. It's okay. That concludes today's matches, I think. And very nice spread of matchups. It's going, and you guys haven't even seen my best matchup yet, which is Druid. Like, Druid is definitely the best matchup. What I face the most on ladder right now is Druids. I face 40% Druids and 40% Shamans, and I'm targeting those 2 decks. And if I face like a slow control warrior, I'm pretty screwed. And yeah, or like a Reno Lock, or just like a Murloc Paladin, something like that. Murloc Paladin is fine, we can fatigue them. And high roll Ironforge Portal. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will use this deck for climbing, and I will also use it in a tournament for tomorrow, which is the Arca Wonder Invitational. Hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video, and see you guys in part 2, in part 3. Hello everyone, and as always, welcome back to part 3 of my video. And in this video I'm gonna show you some of my latest stats. Today I was playing quite a bit of warrior, as you guys told you earlier, and don't be like too flustered by the relatively low win percentage of 58%, which is the only relevant thing, because this is like where I was trying to climb the ladder. I played 26 games of warrior, and even though this might look to some people like a low number, this is actually a lot of warrior games in one day, because every warrior game lasts between 20 and 30 minutes, because almost every single match goes till fatigue if I play against rogue or even a tempo mage, a druid or a shaman. Almost all the time it goes to fatigue. And if I pull this up with the percentage, I'm 83% versus druid. This is what I told you is my definitely, it's actually not even my best matchup. My best matchup is rogue. I have only faced like 3 rogues today because it's not that popular on the ladder, but I'm very favorite in this matchup as well. Oftentimes it's like not even close when I am winning, and I hope I can show you some games there. So yeah, let's go over this very quickly. 5-1 versus druid. The thing is that my percentages are that low that I'm trying a lot of different lists, very similar to this one, but as I just told you guys, if you're watching my stream, I play Deathwing most of the time, and I'm mixing up. I played some games with the Doomsayers, and then, you know, I came up to this list, and this is like a list I'm also gonna submit for a tournament. So yeah, I'm gonna make this video about this list, and I think it's pretty sweet, and I will also use this exact list for climbing further. So against druid it was really good. I'm targeting the 2 most, and this is also very important for climbing on the ladder. You always look what are the 2 most popular decks on the ladder. This is at least what I'm doing, and this is Shaman and Druid, and I'm focusing on targeting those 2 specific classes. Even though it's very difficult, I'm still trying to do it, and this is how it takes also a long time to actually build a deck and also play it very well. So yeah, you need some sort of structure, else you're just randomly putting in cards and removing cards. So there's a very long progress of just testing out a lot of different cards. And yeah, all my versions tend to be very good versus Druid. I was running double BGH at some point, and you know, Sylvanas and all those cards are very good versus Druid. So I'm focusing on targeting Druid because I was fed up and losing that matchup, and I figured should not be that hard to beat Druid because almost everyone plays the same list. Hunter is usually very bad for every sort of like slower control warrior. I think I should just, this should be an even number. I think that, half of the hunters I should beat, so this should be around 50%, but that's variance, you know. I'm pretty sure that when I face hunters again, I will, just win some of those games. Tempo Mage, I think this is probably, with this version, I should be even more favorite. I should be around 75% versus that. I was losing 2 games. Yeah, if I would face some freeze mages, that would obviously be a free win as well. So yeah, 75%. But yeah, this is why I was having some losses. No priest, no paladin as usual. It's very common. You will see this in most of my beta ladder videos. And yeah, rogue, as I mentioned, very good matchup. And facing a little bit more rogues now. This is what people also try to use to beat the meta. Like a lot of rogue players think, oh, you beat Shaman, you beat Druid, so let's play some rogue, and whenever I face those, I'm very happy about that. Shaman should be a better matchup now. I'm always improving the list, so I've had a lot of different lists versus Shaman. I'm slightly favored, but I think this will go up to like 60-65%, so that's pretty awesome. And if I'm favored in this matchup and in the Druid matchup, this is basically what I have. So then I will push my win rate to 65%. And that is like my goal on the high legend. When you on like around 200 legend, then you're trying to push the win rate with any deck to around 65%, and then you will successfully eventually climb to the very high ranks and maybe even eventually get rank 1. And for rank 1, you probably really have to queue into the right matchups with regardless of what deck you play. Reno locks, I faced 3 Reno locks, no Zeus, so that is obviously an auto loss with this deck. If I would face any control warriors, I would lose to that as well. As you guys can see, I'm not facing any warriors, and this deck what I'm playing is super bad versus control warriors, Reno locks, paladins, Murloc paladins, and priests. And as you can see, I'm not facing any Murloc paladins or priests, or usually I should not face that many Reno locks, so that's pretty bad. I think that was pretty unlucky by me to face that many Reno locks in one day and no control warriors. So I automatically ignore those matchups. So many people come to me and ask me, Gaara, like what do I do to improve my mid-range Shaman against freeze mage? And then I'm like, yeah, you don't do anything, because you will face so few freeze mages on ladder that you can just ignore it. You face one, you lose, you accept it, you move on, because that's what matters. Like, I'm not gonna put in Elise, you know, go how to just to beat those Murloc paladins and priests that I do never face, you know. And this is how you climb the ladder. And yeah, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode as well. And that was already the 6th episode of my beta ladder series, and I really enjoyed making this one for you guys. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Peace out.